Hey everyone, welcome back. In this session, let's talk about what is insert statement and why we use it and different ways of inserting the data into a table using an insert statement. By the way, insert statement is one of the commands in the DML statements and can be used to insert the data into a table. So to understand about insert statement, let's create a new table with the help of an existing table, and then we'll try to insert the data. So I'm considering employee table to create a new table. So to create a new table using an existing table, we can write a syntax. We can use a syntax like create table, and then my table name is going to be emp copy as select star from emp where 1 equal to 2. So this is one of the quickest way to create a new table with an existing table structure. So what this means, like this is a new table name and this is an existing table name. So what I'm exactly doing here is that I am just copying the structure of employee table. That means all these columns and creating a new table, and I am naming it as emp copy. So let me run this command. And one of the important points to discuss here is if you are using 1 equal to 2 in where clause, that means you are only copying the table structure of an employee table. You are not copying the data. If you want to copy both table structure and its data, then we have to use 1 equal to 1. So that's a difference here. So anyway, the table has created. Let me check. Let me run the table first. Yeah, as you can see, the table has created without any data. Now let's insert some data into this table using insert statement. So the syntax for inserting a row manually is insert into table name, which is emp copy values. So in first bracket, I mean after table name, we have to keep all the columns for which you want to insert the rows. So I'm just copying the column name from here. Let me write it. And after values, these are the default values that you want to, insert into this table. So I am going to use the employee data again for the data also. So I want to insert the first row into my new table. So I'm copy pasting the values. And when you are inserting a value for number data type column, you no need to give single quotation. But when you are inserting values for either varchar2 data type or date data type, making sure that you are going to give hyphens, single quotations like this. Then clerk is also varchar2 data types. That means should give single quotation and then mgr, then higher date. So this is a date data type. That means we should give single quotation. Then salary is a number data type. Single quotation is not needed, and commission. So let's say you don't want to insert any value into any of the columns of a table, then you can simply keep null. So we'll talk about this deeply in our upcoming sessions. As of now, null you can keep to not insert any values into a column. And then department number 20. So this is one way we can use to insert default values into a table. So let me run it. So as you can see, one row inserted, and after inserting or after performing any DML operations like insert, delete, or update, we should commit the session. So you can use this icon to commit the session, or you can write it and execute it manually. Either ways would work. And let me run it, the data, the query. So you can see, right? So the data is successfully inserted. So this is one way. So let me show you the second way of insertion, how to insert in a different way. So I'm copying the same statement, syntax. So let's say you are passing each and every value in values place, like in this area. You no need to mention, the column names. It's not mandatory. You can simply write insert into the table name and then values, and making sure you have given the values in a sequential manner. That means the columns which were created in a table, the same sequence, like employee number first, employee name second, job, vice versa. So you should follow the same sequence when you are trying to insert the values into those columns. So here I feel the format is correct. So I'm just changing the name of the employee. I would say Ava, and so 7300. So these two I would like to change. That's enough. So let me compile this statement. As you can see, right, so we successfully inserted the second row as well. So I'm committing the session again, and then let me query the table. So second row also we can see in the table. So now you might have a question that what differentiate the first syntax with second syntax? If you are using insert statement syntax like this, right, you can switch the columns the way you want. That means, let's say I want to keep the name first instead of employee number here. So let's say ename, employee number. So here also in values place. So first I'll give Eve, then 73111 is the employee number. So the columns and column values should be same, like the position of these two should be same. But if you are if you see the second syntax, right, so we are not using column names right after the table name. That means the values should be in sequential manner, same as your table structure. But if you are using the column names in your after your table name, and then you can place the column names wherever you want. I mean the position, any position you can use to place the column and its values. So let me insert the third row using this syntax. And then let's commit the session. And as you see, right, so even though we used different positions to place the values, default values while inserting, so it inserted in the right columns in a table, right? And also one of the advantages of using the first syntax is you can simply, let's say you don't want to pass values for commission and EBT number. You can just, remove those columns and remove the values also from here. And then you can insert it. So you can just say this is Eve, right? Let's say Scott, and then 7312, like this. So if you run this, so still you are able to insert the records and commit the session and then run the query. So you see, right, the fourth row, department number and commission are null because we haven't passed any values to these two columns. But if you are doing the same using the second syntax, let's see what happens. So I removed last two, which are commission and department number. And here I'm giving Adam 7313. Let me run it. So you see, right, not enough values because the SQL developer, the Oracle doesn't know like to which columns you are passing these values. When you query the table, there are 7 columns, but you are only passing 5 or 6. So the count of columns is not matching with count of values. So when you are not using or not mentioning column names after table name, then all the values should be passing without without missing. So if you want to pass like you don't have any data to pass to any of the columns, so at that time what you can do, you can simply do null, right? You can just add null in those positions, like commission is null and then department number is null. If you run this, now it will accept. So still not enough values. Okay, let me check 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, manager is also missing. Let me put null for manager also. And let me execute it. Let me clear. Then run it. See inserted. So if you commit the session and see the data now. So Adam and manager, commission, and department number. So these columns are null as we expected or passed, right, while insertion. So this is one of the way we would say, and we also understand the differences between these two statements. Let's say you want to select the data from an existing table and want to insert it, right? Let's say more than one row at a time. So what you can do, you can simply like, let's say we consider employee table and I want to insert 30th department employees into my table, right? So 30th department, if you query how many records are there, where TBD number equal to 30. So we have 6 rows in employee table. So I want to insert all these 6 rows into my new table at once. Right? So if you are doing it manually, you have to run insert statement for 6 times, which is not acceptable, right? You can do it with a single shot. How? Right? Let's see. Insert into table name. And you can just write or add the SQL. So like this. Select star from EMP where the department number 30. So if you run this query manually, you can see this many columns and this many rows. So the same data will be inserted after executing this insert statement. Let me do it. Done. So you can see, right? So 6 rows inserted. And let's commit the session. And then let me see. Yeah, the data. You can see, right? From 6th to 11th. All these employees are from employee table and all of them are belongs to 30th department. So this is one of the quickest way, but making sure that your new table structure and your existing table structure, I mean the columns and its positions. Position means like here employee number, first, second one employee name, job, like that. Let's say in your second table, first column is employee name and second column is employee number. But in your existing column, the first column is employee number and second column is employee name. So at this point of time, you cannot insert using this way, but you can select it. So instead of using star, you can select the columns sequentially based on your new table, and then you can execute like this. So these are the 3 different ways and usages of insert statement, and we can use like based on the requirement we get, we have to pick which one is suitable to fulfill our requirement. So this is all I have for this session, and we'll discuss about delete and update statements in our upcoming session. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you.